Hello you guys and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to have a conversation. It's gonna kind of be a heavy conversation, so I'm warning you right now. Let's get into it. I watched a video recently and it was Charlemagne the God. He has a new television show. I don't think it's that new, but he has a show and it's called God's Honest Truth. The title of the video was Black Gun Ownership. There was two opposing sides. There was this nerdy guy and there was this black guy. The nerdy guy was for gun control. The black guy was not for gun control. And there's a specific part of this video that I'm responding to, and it's this part right here.
But let's deal with the real issues. You want to blame the tool like the recent school shooting. You want to blame the gun and his access to it, but we don't want to talk about what makes you want to go and kill your classmates.
I mean, I have to disagree with you there. You really can blame the tool.
Like, you cannot.
I think it's both.
No one is pushing for banning cars. A guy just ran down a whole Thanksgiving parade, but no one's pushing for banning cars.
The black guy said you can't blame the tool when it comes to like all the gun violence in America. You can't blame the tool. It's a mental health problem. You could say we should ban cars because cars kill more people than guns and all types of stuff like this. My thing is, you can blame the tool because you have to look at purpose. What was this tool built for? A car was not built to kill people. A car was not built to harm people. A car was meant to get you from point A to point B. A gun's sole purpose is to harm, is to kill people. It's to protect yourself, whatever you want to call it. Its sole purpose is to inflict deadly force. Like, they don't make guns to not kill people. They make guns to kill things, anything, people, things. And also, I love having this conversation because I'm from the South. I grew up shooting guns. Like, I still shoot guns to this day. Yeah. That's just what I grew up in. I grew up hunting. I appreciate guns. But let's not act like guns are a problem. Like, in America, guns are a problem. You don't see these mass shootings as frequently as you do in America. There's been how many mass shootings? It is March of 2023. You can blame the tool because that's the problem. The problem is the tool. The problem is that it's too easy to access the thing that causes harm. The problem is it's too easy for young undeveloped minds. I think the problem is mental health and a lack of restriction. Like, it's so easy for a young child to get their hands on a firearm. One of them guns that be like, it's too easy for young, insane, radicalized children to get their hands on them because their parents have them and they have access to them and they get them and they go and shoot up schools. Like, so I feel like even though I appreciate guns, like, I feel like a pistol is reasonable, but there's no reason for like civilians to be having these military grade ass weapons that can just like blow down a bunch of people at one time. Like, that's the thing. The purpose of this gun, this automatic ass weapon, is to harm things a bunch of times. Let me Google semi-automatic and the difference between automatic and semi-automatic. A semi-automatic weapon fires one shot every time the trigger is pulled. An automatic weapon fires continually until the trigger is released. Wow, that's crazy. So my tea is, I'm pretty sure you're allowed to get automatic weapons legally where I'm from. Georgia generally allows possession of machine gun if it is registered as required by federal law. The purpose of these guns where you can fire off multiple rounds quickly, the purpose is to harm a lot of things at once quickly. Like, that's the purpose of this tool. The purpose of a car, the purpose of this tool is to get you from point A to point B. Now, whether if you choose to kill people with the car, that's your choice, that's your decision, but that's not what the car was meant for. You're misusing the car if you use it to kill people. You're not misusing the gun if you're using it to kill people, because the point of the gun is to kill. Do you see what I'm saying? So it's the tool. The problem is the tool. I don't think you should ban guns altogether because I love a little gun. I love a little pistol moment, but like, these mass shootings are out of hand. They've been out of hand. I literally can remember the first time, like, I consciously remember there being a mass shooting, and it was Sandy Hook. I was like maybe in the 7th, 8th grade. Like, I remember watching that shit on the news, like, being shook. Like, he went up in the elementary school and killed all these children. That's not the first time it's happened, and it hasn't been the last. Like, it's crazy. There is an issue. There's a problem in America with guns and all these machine guns, military style weapons, all these where you can go in somewhere and then kill a bunch of people, a whole crowd within 5 minutes. There needs to be bans. There needs to be something done. There needs to be background checks, something like that, because you cannot disagree that something has to be done. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, the violence in America, that shit is ridiculous. And then he said he wants to blame what's causing this, which is mental health. I feel like it is mental health, but it's not just mental health. It's a combination of things. People have access to the deadly weapons. And then I feel like on top of mental health, the media, like young kids not having any guidance, so wanting to emulate what they see, and a lot of media is violent. Their video games are violent. They're desensitized to the violence because that's all they do. They sit and they play video games that are full of violence, listen to music that's full of violence. The United States glorifies violence. Like, the military is the best thing about the United States, and what do? They kill people. Like, I feel like a lot of things in this world glorify violence, make violence okay, make violence the cool thing. And a lot of kids growing up, they don't have a lot of guidance. They don't have a lot of people. So they turn to the internet and they turn to the media and they do what they see. Another aspect is really radicalized groups, like right-wing craziness, like militia, want to start a militia, all types of crazy stuff. Like, because that's what they see. Like, that's what's glorified. Even in American history, like, the war, and like, that's what people think is so cool. Like, they feel like it's their right, like, to uprise. It's their right to have access to these weapons. But let me tell you, I just feel like if the U.S. government wanted to kill you, no matter how many guns and how many people you gather, the U.S. will still kill you. Like, they don't care. Like, look what they've done to the Middle East. And if you don't think they'll do it to their own people, I feel like you're mistaken. Like, if y'all really try and rise up, if you have, like, do you really think you could take on the U.S. government? I don't think so. So, like, all people's points for having, I'm getting off topic, but, like, I've heard arguments for having all these crazy guns is for protection of anything. Like, you don't need that. You don't need that. You don't need that. You don't need it. Like, whoever's coming for you, like, are you paranoid? It's giving paranoid. Who's coming for you? I got all off topic. I feel like a lot of paranoia causes this. I don't know, just like radicalized ideology. People just like go hard in the wrong direction. I feel like no guidance, really. Like, that shit is crazy. And another one is wanting to be famous, like wanting to be infamous, really, because they'll see people doing it and get famous and they want to do it. They want their 15 minutes of fame, but you're going to jail for the rest of your life or you're going to die. Sometimes it'd be a suicide mission. I don't know, but I just feel like it's a bunch of different factors. It's not just one factor. I feel like if we could put control on, like, the crazy guns, like the ridiculous guns, like, for real, anything too much past a rifle or a handgun is pushing it. Like, because unless you're using it to hunt or just, like, you know, a little cute pistol for protection reasons, after that, like, what are you protecting yourself from? Like, a zombie apocalypse, the end of the world. If you need to protect yourself from the government, if the government wants you, they gonna come get you. So anything past a little a little rifle, a little handgun, like, you don't need it. It's just excess, and it's contributing to the problem. I feel like y'all don't need that. Y'all don't need it. It's extra. The government, I feel like, needs to step in and get a little stricter with these gun laws, because y'all are wilding and it's dangerous out here.